There is a specific kind of restlessness that seems built into human nature, a quiet, persistent feeling that there is some deeper, ultimate truth just out of reach, and no matter how much we learn or experience, we never quite arrive at it. In the 11th century, the Ismaili philosopher and poet Nasser Khosrow attempted to explain the underlying structure of the universe and why we occupy our specific place within it. This diagram illustrates his core cosmological map. At the top of this structure is the universal intellect, or Akh. This is pure, unmediated reality, infinite and complete. The intellect does not search for answers or long for anything. It exists as absolute still truth. Below it is the universal soul, or nafs. This layer is defined by its eternal, reaching aspiration toward the intellect above it. It strives for that infinite completion, yet it is structurally incapable of crossing the boundary. This human longing mirrors the structure of the universe itself. We are fragments of that soul, doing exactly what it was designed to do: reach upward. Khosrow argued that if the bounded soul ever actually achieved the infinite status of the intellect, it would destroy the entire hierarchy of existence. A hard boundary must exist. To visualize this boundary, he draws a distinction between two concepts: haliyat, which is pure, raw existence, and mahiyat, which is quiddity, the human act of defining and categorizing things. The intellect lives entirely in the realm of raw existence. The soul, however, operates by breaking reality down into manageable, restrictive boxes of definition. Khosrow quotes a Quranic metaphor to show the scale of the intellect. If the sea were ink used to write out the words of the divine truth, the entire ocean would run dry long before the truth was exhausted. The bounded, defining nature of the soul makes it a finite vessel. You simply cannot fit an infinite ocean into a cup, no matter how desperately the cup wants to hold it. 8 centuries before Khosrow, the philosopher Plotinus proposed a theory of emanation. He believed reality flowed outward in stages, starting from an unknowable, infinite source called the One, spilling over into the divine mind or intellect, and finally filtering down into the world soul. This ancient division echoes right up through modern Western philosophy, taking on new forms in the work of Immanuel Kant. Kant argued that human beings only ever experience phenomena, a version of reality filtered and boxed in by our senses. The noumena, the raw existence of things as they truly are, remains forever locked away from us. Each of these thinkers identifies a consistent wall in human consciousness. Our ability to categorize reality stops where reality truly begins, leaving us as eternal seekers of a truth we cannot fully absorb. While philosophers rely on rigid structures to describe this limit, mystics frame it as a visceral, aching emotion. In the 13th century, the poet Rumi opened his masterpiece, the Masnavi, with the image of a reed flute. Plucked from its original mud and hollowed out, the flute cries. The music it makes is a song of separation. It longs to return to the reed bed. That song represents the universal soul aspiring toward the pure intellect. Enjoy exploring these deep philosophical maps? Take a second to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which thinker we should cover next. This intuition stretches deep into Eastern philosophy as well. In Taoism, Laozi speaks of the unnameable Tao, a state of limitless potential known as Wuji. The opening lines of the Tao Te Ching warn that the moment you name the Tao, you place a boundary on it. You take the infinite and trap it in a finite form, mirroring Khosrow's warnings about the limits of quiddity. Later traditions dote tools specifically to break these boundaries. Zen koans, seemingly unsolvable riddles, are designed to intentionally crash the rational mind by exhausting its ability to define reality. The collective wisdom of these traditions points to a single realization: you cannot conquer the infinite by chopping it up into definitions. You have to learn how to swim in the unmediated reality. Khosrow's framework clarifies the specific anxieties of our modern era. Today, we are submerged in quiddity. We live in an environment obsessed with assigning a label, a definition, and a metric to every human experience. By strictly defining everything we do, we starve ourselves of raw, undefined existence. We build endless boxes, but find nothing inside them. This modern crisis of meaning occurs because we are trying to satisfy the infinite appetite of the soul with finite categorized data. Khosrow's map offers a way out. First, it reminds us that pure existence will always outlast and overpower the tiny societal labels we invent to describe it. Second, it reframes our internal anxiety. That restless feeling represents the soul performing its highest function, looking upward. Finally, it demands we approach the universe with humility and awe, rather than the exhausting arrogance of trying to master and organize every inch. The beauty of a human life resides in the eternal act of reaching for the infinite, even while knowing the water will always slip through our fingers.